Greetings, my friends. Special good evening to all our viewers here on the platform, Caribbean American News Media. We're happy to have you here with us tonight. It is 7:13 p.m. right here where we are located, and I am sure for those of you in the Eastern Caribbean, it's around 8:13 p.m., and we're happy to be here with you on the platform. Folks, please share as you join us. Welcome again. Let me just go over to our viewers over there on our YouTube channel. Let us see what is happening over there. But we want to welcome all of you to the platform tonight. Yes, our folks are logging in over there. And so we look forward to a beautiful night. How was your day, folks? Yes, some of you had a very bad day, a rough day. But greetings, everybody. Williams, how are you doing? Glasgow, Hippolyte, Curtis, greetings to you. Desmond, how are you? Gabrielle, good day, good night to you. Melissa, greetings to you. Molly Mall, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Arnold, yes, I believe over in St. Croix. Greetings to you. Sarah, howdy. Sakafet. Yes. Bernadette, yes. Stephen, Beverly, Cleopatra, greetings, my people and my brother. Bravo, greetings. Lydia Francis, Majestic December. Jennifer Francis, greetings to my family. Good. Before we go any further, we want to pay due respect to Lydia on her birthday. Yes, it's Lydia's birthday, and this is one of the pictures that I got from your Facebook page. This I got from your Facebook page. And I hope it was one of the good ones. I know you women always have pictures that you don't want to be out there, but I was able to get this. Lydia Francis, welcome. And may you live to see many more. I heard that you're 50-something. But there's something we don't know. Hi, Stanislas, out of Sufra, I believe. Greetings to you. Alexander Joseph. Naima, my friend from Dennery. Greetings. Dennery South in the house. Yes. Aldred. Yes. And we have a New York in the house. Aldonza, greetings to you. Yes. And you all would really appreciate why I don't really call people names, try to pronounce their names. I always get it wrong. Yes, Shasho, howdy. Rita, greetings to you. Our people are coming in quickly. Marcellus, Denver South again in the house. Folks, let me know where you're coming in from, so we can greet you, yes, and to our Grenadian brethren who have joined us on the platform, our newest country on board with us, Grenadian Passe, greetings to you. I saw you had something in your house there this week, but it is what it is. Yes. Randy, how are you? Yes. Yes. Alice Gibson from Grenada. Good to have you, my friend. Yes, good to have you. And so, as I said, folks, it is Lydia's birthday. We are celebrating with her. Yes, Catherine, how are you doing? Yes, Grenada in the house. Grenada in the house. Good night, everybody. Amanda, Evelyn. Yeah, Eva, how are you? Cooley James, I got to try to reach out to Cooley. I mean, we miss Cooley on the platform, and my thoughts are there. I'm trying to figure out what is, how I'll try to reach out as soon as I can. I've been very busy myself, but I hope Cooley James is okay. I hope all is well. We continue to pray for Cooley James. We continue to pray for all of you. Yes. Central Castries is in the house, and that is Calext. Marva, greetings to you. Yes, I believe that there is an internet issue there in St. Lucia. There is a slowdown with your internet in St. Lucia. Yeah. Philippa, Marlene, Gil, greetings. Yes, there is a slowdown in the Caribbean, not in the Caribbean, but in St. Lucia with internet. I believe it's an internet outage or slowdown, and I hope that your telecommunication company can take care of that situation with you who are paying for their service. I'm hoping that that can be done. But let's get to work, folks. Greetings to you. Greetings to everybody. Please share the live as you join in. And, of course, you use the different features that we have in order to support or show your support to the program. All right. So we have gas adjustment for St. Lucia. Let's see if we can find that gas. Let's see if we can pull it up on the platform. Yes, gasoline adjustment for St. Lucia. Gasoline remains unchanged at $3.63 per liter or $16.50 per gallon. Diesel remain unchanged at $3.63 per liter or $16.50 per gallon. Gasoline decreased from $2.78 per liter or $12.63 per gallon to $2.58 per liter or $11.72 per gallon. All right, let us look at price for cylinder glass. 20-pound cylinder remains unchanged at $39.30 per cylinder. 22-pound cylinder at $9.98. kg remains unchanged at 43.22 per cylinder. 100-pound cylinder 45.36. kg increased from 284.45 to 288.43 per cylinder. So the 100-pound cylinder that you use to cook, that there is an increase from $284.45 EC to $288.43. Let us go over to Barbados. The current gasoline price there in Barbados is 4.08 Bajan per liter, and that is $2.02 US per liter. And this was updated on the 27th of November 2023. That is for Barbados. All right. Now, the truth of the matter is, with the gas prices, the adjustments in St. Lucia, I honestly do not understand the reason for gas prices going up and not down. I really don't. I can't understand it because the price of gasoline per barrel on the world market is about $76.22. And I mean, that is a decline from a week ago, which was $78.50 per barrel. So what we see is gas prices per barrel on the world market continues to decrease, while gas prices in the Caribbean, in the Eastern Caribbean and other parts of the world, continues to go up or remain unchanged. And as far as I'm concerned, gasoline at the pump, the regular gas that the drivers used every day, bus drivers and everybody else, should have been reduced to at least $14 or so. For the life of me, I'm not sure what they're boasting about subsidies to the what it is, the 20-pound cylinder. That's the gas tank that everybody used to cook at their homes. This is the festive season, and let me just look at something here. And we have our 20-pound cylinder remains unchanged. Unchanged. So all the basic gas products that you St. Lucians use, and you use a lot more during the holiday season, have not changed, remained unchanged, and it has remained unchanged for a very long time. It is more than 6 months that you have not seen a decrease in petroleum and gas prices at the pump. It still remains at a very high. Let me just look at it again. It still remains at $16.50 per gallon. This, to me, it's ridiculous. There is no justifiable reason, as far as I'm concerned, for you St. Lucians to be paying $16.50 per gallon for 6 months now, when we have always had adjustments on the world market. So I really I'm trying to figure it out. And, the government is saying, look, we have not meet our quota yet, the budgeted amount that we wanted to take from you St. Lucians. And so because we have not really gathered that money from you as yet, then we're not going to make the adjustment to the prices. But yet they boast to you, St. Lucians, that they are subsidizing cooking gas at $20. They ain't subsidizing nothing. Why am I saying nothing? Because they're taking it out from you. They're taking it out from the gas at the pump. So they're saying that they're shielding you from paying $20. But then when you go to the pump, the price remains the same when it should go down. So what is the difference, really? Yeah? What is the difference? And then we have the 100-pound. Yes, the 100-pound cylinder increased from a 284 to 288. How is that How is that, St. Lucians? How is that normal? How is this, something that we should celebrate when our government say to us, yeah, we subsidize more than any other government. And you are at a place where gas prices are going down and not up at the world market. It is going down. You are in a good position to pass on these savings to the citizens of the country, especially the bus drivers and those who commute daily for work. It is very expensive to drive a vehicle in St. Lucia. The roads are ridiculous. You are still taking the taxes for the road repairs from the citizens, and they're not seeing any work being done on any road, basically. They still got to dodge from potholes. They still got to decide which pothole they're going to go through. How is this possible? How is this normal? For a government that boasts and say, well, we had $70 million in surplus. Come on, you could have shield this. Look at this, folks, and pay attention to what I'm saying, Reverend. My people, pay attention to me, right? The government boasts of $70 million surplus. St. Lucians are still recovering from the effects of COVID-19. Many families were thrown off. Breadwinners died. A whole set of people's situation changed. They are still recovering. But yet the government says on one hand that, yeah, we did well, we have extra monies. Plus they are borrowing millions of dollars, I believe over $1 billion already. Then they took a loan for the hospital and the stadium, $200 million, but they don't know at this point how much is going to be spent in the hospital, how much is going to be spent on on the stadium. As a matter of fact, they don't know whether they will need to borrow more money for the St. Jude's Hospital. And this is not speculation or some hack down the road repeating something, that might not be the truth. This is the Prime Minister saying to us that he don't know the cost of the St. Jude project. But yet we are borrowing millions of dollars for a project that we don't know how it's going to end and how it's going to what is going to happen there. So back to the gas prices, and then we will move around. There is no adjustment where it is needed for the poor families. £20 cylinder should have gone down. Gasoline price should have gone down. Not everybody use kerosene. Majority of St. Lucians use regular gasoline. So at a time, crucial point where our youth unemployment, it is high, and that is confirmed by the Prime Minister himself. He said to Andre that the unemployment situation among young people is a concern for him. But the question that Andre should have asked the Prime Minister, why is it a concern for you? If you're saying that you, as a government, you are taking care of the young people, and you have never, it's unprecedented what we have done. What are the figures among youth unemployment? What are the figures? And what is the forecast for the year 2024? Unemployment among young people. Where are these young people who are unemployed? What are we doing for them? Where are they? Are they on the block? Are they walking around Castries? Are they on the beach? Where are these young people? Where are they? Are they opening businesses, like you say? Where are these young people? And why is unemployment so high among these young people? And I can answer it right here from my end. I can answer it from my end. These young people have been pushed out of the job market by dinosaurs, by retirees, individuals in Soufre and all these areas, these different government agencies. And some of them are in positions around the world that young people can fit in. So one, you criticize Ojo Labs and all those things, a waste of money, and blah, the government is paying and putting out money and blah, 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 blah. But we had thousands of young people working. The Ojo Lab and all these labs, they reminded me at some point of Belfashion, where a majority of our women got worked, were gainfully employed. They were saving their money at the Dennery Cooperative Credit Union. They were building their homes. They were repairing their homes. They were sending their kids to school. Dennery was flourishing. But now you're saying to us that youth unemployment is a problem. It's high, and basically it's high. How high is high? And if it's a major concern for you, come forward and let us know what are the numbers. So maybe, Mr. Prime Minister, what you can do is to send back some of your seniors in retirement. Send them back in retirement. They already benefiting. They're already getting their pension and other finance. You're already giving them extra $500 and $600. And by the way, those people who retired and you call back, I am sure they're still getting the little $600 extra that you put on that you're boasting about. And I challenge the NIC to increase pensioners' money too. If you have extra monies and everything is dandy in the country, why can't you pass on those rose petals to families around this time? And I applaud the Prime Minister for giving an extra $600. It goes a long way to some of these families. There are some retirees in St. Lucia who cannot even survive on their retirement because you have set the condition for them not to be able to live on their retirement. So you set the condition in the country with high gas prices, doing basically nothing about food prices. And then you throw a little $600 and say, yeah, look at what we're doing as a government, we give. But you are making, you have placed a condition, you have conditioned the country to the place where these senior citizens can't go to the supermarket as often as they should to get a nutritious and a balanced meal, so that they can avoid St. Jude's and those hospitals that have no supplies in them. And then when we speak on these platforms, what you do is that you call us names, you send your surrogates, and you send some of these ignorant people who do not mean well for the country. Very few of them are concerned about the development of the country. You listen to them, it is all about them. Want to be in the spotlight, want to be seen, want to be heard. That's why I say to you, Caribbean American News, we're not here for show or for games. It is clear we are not. We could have been doing a lot of stuff or riding the waves of noise. And maybe we could have rode that wave if we wanted to be if we wanted to be seen. But what we try to do is to remain on the issues that affect our poor families. Try to stay away from name calling and bamboozling people, Seville. We try to seek privately aid families who are suffering because of the climate, the condition that the government have placed for them. And so a whole set of noisemakers, a whole set of scandalous people, whole set of senior young people, I don't know how to pronounce that one, but they're senior, but they're young, but they're senior. You don't know what they are. Because if they had a good brain in their head, half of what they're doing, they would not be doing. Garbage, foolishness on social media, making themselves look like clowns and fools. You scarcely hear any of those hacks. Some of them are not even surrogates. Some of them are just keeping noise, kissing up to everybody around them. Because they want to be heard, they want to be seen. But you hardly hear them speak on high gas prices. You hardly hear them speak about rape in our country, the rape culture in our country. You hardly hear them speak about these senior citizens that are coming back into the workforce and taking jobs from our young people. While the Prime Minister said to us that that's one of his concerns. Bad road condition. You hardly hear the hacks speak about it. They are complaining their vehicles are mashing up. But what they want to talk about Maneuver Ward, about Charles, about Marvin, about me, about this one. I ain't a problem. I'm not your problem. We are not the problem. You guys are the problem. Because you need to speak a little more on the issues that are affecting our families. Don't speak about me. I'm not the issues affecting the families. I am responsible for high gas prices in the country. It is you and your prime minister. I'm not responsible for a man cussing people off, calling them names, insulting decent citizens. As a matter of fact, citizens that are more decent than them. They class A behavior. We ain't the problem. I heard one say I have a fake accent. I don't know what accent I have, and I don't care about accent. That's all you guys concerned about. Skin color and accent. Be concerned about the citizens, man. The plight of citizens. Some of you left the United States and those countries and run down and vote and aid the people in voting against their own development. I was ashamed to see the airport. People running to British Airways with their suitcase, running like they're under some banana field. And when I look at St. Vincent, I was more embarrassed for St. Vincent back in the days where Liat could have hardly land properly on the airport. Air Jamaica can hardly land. Caribbean Airways can hardly land in St. Vincent and E.T. Joshua Airport. Now them fellas have air-conditioned bridge. All hurricanes can come, wind can blow, snow can fall, sun can come. When you get out of American Airlines or British Airways in St. Vincent, straight into customs. And you will decide when you leave the airport buildings whether you want to get wet or not, because the government cater for visitors and you, the citizens, that you would not get wet. St. Vincent was a crying shame, was an embarrassment to airports. They had what they call an airstrip. I used to be ashamed to go through there. They tell you it's an airport. I used to ask them, where's the airport? Is an airstrip? Vincentians, when they saw British Airways and American Airlines for the first time, they wanted to know what is that, because they have never seen any big plane land in St. Lucia for St. Vincent all their lives. And while I don't support Ralph Gonsalves is doing one or two things right. He's having a vision. He brought in Sandals to St. Vincent. First major hotel in St. Vincent. Holiday Inn. Major airport, bigger than St. Lucia, better than St. Lucia. Left St. Lucia way behind in the dust. Dominica coming for St. Lucia. Barbados upgrading, making it bigger and better. By the way, Barbados spent millions of dollars recently on the airports, and still they have to spend more. I am saying we need leaders in our country with vision to build one time. You can't even build a hospital one time. Now, our next generation will have to go look for money to build a proper hospital, when we would have spent millions of dollars on buildings that cannot meet this era that we're heading into. And so, Ralph Gonsalves had the worst seaport in the region. Ralph Gonsalves moved mountains, pushed back the waters in Kingstown. I used to go and bathe down there as a little boy. Push back the water. And right now he's building a state-of-the-art port facility in Kingstown. Leaving St. Lucia behind in the dust. St. Lucia now have to go and beg a company to come in and manage something that their local port authority can manage. They are inviting people to come in and manage their port when they have no problem with their port, All they need for SLASPA to do is bring in some architects and persons to give them ideas how to develop all their ports in the country, from Castries to Viewfort to Soufrière. And even if Dennery could have gotten one, drop one in Dennery too. No vision. And so they're paying somebody to manage their port, and they have no problem with their port. Financially, no problem at all. How is that possible? So when I saw people running with their bags at the airport, one empty hut. The truth, I watched it once, watched it twice, and I was ashamed. Not because I support the United Workers' Party, because there was a vision, there was a plan. There was a plan in place for the development of your airport. They said the airport is too big and too expensive. The hospital is too big and too expensive. Everything is too big and too expensive. And so they got to downsize. They got to cap the pile, causing St. Lucians millions of dollars just to cap the piling at the airport, to downgrade it. Because the Prime Minister never saw an upstairs and downstairs airport. Never saw an upstairs and downstairs. And none of his cabinet people correct him, None of his Labour Party leaders, chairman, secretary, his spokesperson, none of them said, Mr. Prime Minister, no, don't say that. Don't say that again. Don't say it, mister. I have gotten lost on airports. I've gotten lost at airports. From upstairs to Miami, upstairs, downstairs, we don't know where to get our what do you call it? Our transfer bus to the rental company. We don't know where to go. Upstairs, downstairs, across, left. The place like a nation itself, the airport. But your government says it's too big. And therefore, the scene, whatever we saw last week, where our visitors are running for their life from the rain before they catch the flu. Running for their life from the rain. And the government says to you, the Alan Chastity government, they have no vision. They're not one of us. These people don't understand our culture. Is that your culture? Buddy, is that your culture? Is that what you want for St. Lucia? Is that your culture? That's what I'm asking you, buddy. And and I want you to tell us about your agreement with Venezuela right now. You sign an agreement for road repairs, and then you say to St. Lucians next year, it's a year of infrastructure and road repairs. What infrastructure? You told us that work has re-begun on the airport. You told us we have not stopped any work at the airport. You can't get the Millennium Highway finished. Grocery Highway is in a mess. Major bypass roads that are needed in St. Lucia right now, you can't focus on them because right now you have to focus on all those holes that all these roads that are getting worse in the country. So you can't build no new roads, really. Because all your major roads will take you millions of dollars right now because you have left it for too long. And you know what you told us, sir? It was raining. But now we found out that it was is not really because of the rain. Maybe it was raining in your head. But now we find out that you guys had priorities. Your priorities are to increase your traveling budget. Your priorities is to hire horses of your friends, jabals, and associates. Your plans was to ensure that those who support the St. Lucia Labour Party are well taken care of. Your priority was not the roads. And as the world turns in St. Lucia, Claudius Francis have not paid Mr. Chasney's money yet. The hacks have gone off the rail. There is no reasoning anymore. They are at war with themselves, because I will tell you, no hack is going to be at war with me because I'm a peacemaker. I'm not a war man. I ain't here for war. I ain't declaring war on nobody. No, man. You ain't dragging me into no war. War of words? Nah. I decline. Call me what you want. Coward. No heart. I back down from a good fight, you know. I don't go walk into fights. I don't like them. I will drop a word or two and I move on. I ain't looking for no fight. Nobody's going to bait me to make them famous. Nobody's going to bait me to speak about them so that, you know, they can be in the spotlight. I ain't had a spotlight here for no one. Our spotlight is on policies, the disastrous policies that are affecting our citizens, our poor families, not the rich. It ain't a... Listen to me, you guys are getting richer. Nothing bothering you all. How many homes are being built right now with all the plywood VAT? They said when they reduce VAT that people will empty the shelves. Oh, it's a good thing. Oh, we reduced the VAT. We removed the VAT on plywood and galvanized. How many plywood houses are going up in St. Lucia? Who is buying the plywood? Is it the Maliway? Question, Mr. Prime Minister. How is that going for St. Lucians? How is it working? Give us a report. Did we see a rush to buy plywood because people eat plywood? So they make plywood soup, plywood porridge. Did you see a rush for plywood and galvanized? And where did you see the rush? Tell us. Yeah? Reverend, I had to make sense. I ain't no bank. I am not the ECCB. I'm not the World Bank. I ain't had to make no sense. I had to make no sense. You check it. We're here for serious business. Yeah. So we continue. Let's go over, friends, to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia on, I believe it's Rev St. Lucia. Let's listen to him for a minute.
In St. Lucia, we have convenient truths. Again, I'm quoting somebody. Convenient truths. We don't deal with the reality situation. Fact is, a situation where there are two opposing candidates. One is black and one is white. That's a fact. It's a fact. Why are you running away from that? Why are you pretending that white gets black?
Now, wait. Let's stop that for a while. Mr. Prime Minister, nobody is pretending. Brethren, if you want to call it at any time to interject, the phone is open. It's the season to be jolly. It's the season to be jolly. Call in and tell us what's on your mind. The phone lines are open. So the Prime Minister is missing the point that we as St. Lucians, we want an end to this racist debate. We want an end to the idea of making laws or changing laws to affect Mr. Alan Chasney. We want policies in St. Lucia, not because you don't like Chasney or because you want to embarrass him or show off. We want deliberate laws, deliberate attempt to improve the lives of St. Lucians. That's what we want. Huh? Caller, you on the air. Caribbean American News Media.
Yes, hi, Gotham.
Yes, sir. You're on the air. Speak up.
Yes. No one's, in today's climate, why would you build with plywood?
Why would you build with plywood?
A waste of money. Yes, in today's climate.
Yeah.
I mean, you think plywood can withstand the kind of winds that we have today? 100 miles per hour plus?
Well, in St. Vincent, it's concrete they're building with, cement and blocks.
But you have to build with concrete.
Yeah.
You have to build with concrete to withstand that kind of climate that we are experiencing today. And I don't understand why would you borrow $200 million and include the refurbishment of the stadium. You don't even know how much it will cost you to finish the structure for the St. Jude, and you don't know how much the equipment would cost you to furnish the hospital with equipment and the services as well. How could you include the stadium? Why do that? Who's advising these guys?
Well, the group of professionals are advising him.
But these guys are not advising this guy properly. And he should have some common sense and realize that you have two hospitals, one in the north, one in the south. The Chinese gave you a structure. You could not even furnish it with medical equipment. Mm-hmm. Okay? You don't have enough beds. Mm-hmm. You don't have equipment. You don't have a CAT scan. You don't have you don't have an MRI machine. Huh? You don't have enough nurses. You don't have doctors to service. Huh? People are sitting in wheelchairs and for 2 days, 3 days before they can get a bed. And you're telling me you're going to take that 200 million plus and tell me that as soon as you borrow this money, you came out on television and say that some of the money will be for St. Jude and some will be for the refurbishment of the stadium. Now, I put common sense together.
I think this government is like a cheese stick government. They're ad hawkish. I don't know what to say.
Now put common sense. Let's have some common sense in this, okay? When you look at the George Odlum Stadium, mm-hmm. the trusses, the metal trusses are all decayed. It's rusted. I mean, you know how much money it will cost to put these things together so you can have a solid structure?
Yeah.
It's going to cost you millions.
It's going to cost a lot.
So why incorporate the stadium into the development of St. Jude's? And you cannot even furnish the one you have in Castries. You're thinking of a stadium already? I mean, who these guys are fooling? I mean, are we that stupid? Does that make sense to you?
Not at all.
The one that the Chinese gave you, you cannot furnish it with medical equipment, with staff, and then you're telling me that the money that you bought, the 200 million plus, you're going to put it into St. Jude's, the finishing and refurbishing of a stadium. Look at the stadium. How many athletes that we produce internationally? That this become a priority to us? I mean, put common sense, man. Then people start to realize that these guys are just, giving us a 6 for 9.
6 for 9.
That makes no sense.
Yep, 6 for 9. Yep.
Yeah. I'm telling people about plywood. What plywood in today's climate? What are you telling people about plywood, man? Plywood is no. You can't build plywood houses again today.
That's right.
You cannot. That makes no sense.
That's right.
So why encourage people to go and build plywood homes? Huh?
Yep.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
Appreciate it. Now this brother is a new caller, and he's right. I mean, right now Vincentians are getting away from wooden structures, plywood structure. There's not a lot of plywood structure in the country, and I mean, these guys are trying to bring St. Lucia back to Plywood City. And maybe the problem there in St. Lucia is a land issue where majority of St. Lucians don't own these lands, and so they got to put up temporary structures that can be moved. Maybe it's a bigger discussion that we need to have on giving citizens ownership of some of these properties that they're living on for all these years. And maybe the Catholic Church need to get involved and stop talking and give land papers to those who are living on these properties. Maybe that need to happen also. A conversation need to be had with the church and with government so that people can stop building temporary structures in the country. So let's go back to Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you, caller.
This is a visible fact. So why are you afraid of it? We have to deal with it. St. Lucians have voted a white man for Prime Minister. So to say St. Lucia is a recent thing, that's not true. When St. Lucia has voted, and then nobody, that's the choice of St. Lucia. So why are we all in a sudden, when we bring that talk about black, people say you're racist? Why are we doing that? I don't know if something I'm saying. Why are we doing that? Do you understand?
Wait, we are doing that, Mr. Prime Minister, because in the House, we have heard a lot of racist remarks. The recent one, that might not be racist, but the recent discrimination against Mr. Chasney that I heard in the House was about accent. That because he have an accent, St. Lucia believe him. Now, what is the meaning of that? That is childish. It is petty. We didn't send you to the House to talk about a man's accent or the man's color or where the man is born. We send you there because you said to St. Lucians that you are better than the United Workers' Party government. You said you were a better government. A better government would continue fixing the roads. A better government would give us a good hospital. A better government would give us a proper airport, not downsize the airport. That's what a proper government would have done. But all we're hearing is about a man's color. He wasn't born. He's a product of Canada. He's not one of us. He should be sent back. We don't want a white man in our country. We is black. And all these kind of things. And you, Mr. Prime Minister, sits here and pretend that you don't know what the discussion is all about because St. Lucians elected a white. You guys are a bunch of jokers, but let's continue, huh?
Administration is distancing itself from any move to change the constitution to make it impossible for a person who's not born here to become prime minister.
That has never been in our discussion, and it has not been yet in our discussion.
And what about, now we're talking about this this minister, Richard Frederick. So what about some of his pronouncements that are obviously rubbing people in the wrong way, particularly women? What is your take on that? Because I think you made some comments. You said that he was doing it in the past.
No, Andrew, no. See what I said.
Okay.
Andrew, Richard Frederick is not a new phenomenon. You know that? Richard Frederick was a member of the United Workers' Party. The only party Richard Frederick has been in is the United Workers' Party. You understand? In fact, before...
So he's not a member of the Labour Party?
No, he's not. No, he's not. The only party Richard Frederick has been, he's been a member of the United Workers' Party. That's the only party he's been a member of. Up to now, up to this morning. I don't know for the future. Now, Richard Frederick spent 5 years, every night, every Thursday night on the radio. At the time he was on your radio, and HGS was on? Which one he was?
Radio 100.
Putting blows on us, on Kenny Anthony.
In fairness to him, when he worked at Radio 100, it was more about the law. So, in fairness to him,
law.
Okay.
So you see why, my fellow brethren, you got to be very careful when you are listening to the Prime Minister when he's speaking. you got to pay attention to this man. You understand what I'm saying? He is not a dummy. He is a smart, he's an intelligent guy. He's good on his politics. You heard him earlier. He said Richard Frederick is only one party, is UWP. You know fully well the man is with them 100%. There's not a shadow of a doubt. Both Buddy and King are SLP. There is no doubt. And by the way, SLP long before the last elections. Don't let them fool you because they're trying to feel the people of Castries. They're trying to feel you to see if you will have a problem if them fellas join the party officially. They're feeling the pulse. They're afraid to pronounce that he's one of us. They're playing with your cervelle. That's why, St. Lucians, you got to be careful when politicians are communicating with you. And then he says, Buddy used to be on your radio giving us mepui. Now, the way I get it is that he said, so we ain't have a problem here. The same tool that was used to beat us, we are allowing the same tool to beat them. This is a smart prime minister, brethren. I never thought, honestly, I never thought that the prime minister is a dumb guy. He's not smart. I would never allow myself to go down that road. He's smart. And he will continue to play you, the people of St. Lucia. Because he know how to play y'all, you know how to mess with your cervelle. He uses words strategically. Well, not all the time. Not.
I heard this short fella. The sky is falling. I heard this short.
Except when he make those statements, then we know, that's not too smart. Those things you don't say. But let's go back to the prime minister.
There was a time, Richard Frederick was a hero for the United Workers' Party. You know that. The United Workers' Party supported Richard Frederick in the by-election. You understand? The United Workers' Party took Richard Frederick in the boulevard and gave him the T-shirt. And John Compton said, you want him, I'm giving him to you. It's the United Workers' Party that did that, not us. Not us. So let's forget the history. The United Workers' Party is the one. Richard Frederick was a hero for the United Workers' Party. In the by-election in Miku that John Compton won, Richard Frederick was the star of the show. Richard Frederick for the United Workers' Party was the man who put the...
Brethren, a lot of stuff I'm observing here, as a psychologist. The man is saying Richard Frederick is not us, the Labour Party have nothing to do with this, Richard Frederick was one of them, and he's caucusing with us, but it's them. John Compton is the one who said, look, y'all want him, look him. So John Compton is the one who created Buddy, and so it's not us. And that's why I told you all some time ago. If you look at the ministers of government, if you look at the SLP ministers, you would realize that they kind of distance themselves from Buddy. And here the prime minister is trying to bend himself out of shape to distance himself from a certain behavior, because he is saying to St. Lucians smartly that behavior is not coming from us, but it is coming from what John Compton and the United Workers' Party created. Brethren, that's why I want you to listen carefully when the Prime Minister is speaking. Although the possibility next week he can come back and say something else. Them fellas are playing a game on the minds of the people, the voters in Castries. And he's blaming the United Workers' Party for creating body. It is not them. It is the UWP.
Me, on Kenny Anthony, he did it when he was in the United Workers' Party. So let's don't forget who Richard Fredericks is. All right, that time. Then Richard Fredericks transitioned out of the United Workers' Party. Or let's be to them, they kicked him out. Richard Fredericks spent these 5 years every night on the radio, on his show, on Facebook Live, criticizing the United Workers' Party and its leader every night. They knew all that about him. They were Minister of National Security. They were the Prime Minister. They were Minister of Home Affairs. They, by their own admittance, appointed the Chief of Police. You know that story about the Regis. You know, history.
So what are you saying? That because the United Workers' Party had all these positions that they should have, lock him up? What are you saying, Mr. Prime Minister? Calling you on the air, Caribbean American News Media.
Hello, good night, Pastor Garfield.
Good night, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing good, and good night to all your listeners.
Yes, good night to you again.
Pastor Garfield, I just want to ask, what happened to the condos down at cul-de-sac?
The condos, the gas station attendants would not be able to afford it, so they send it over to Grosile.
At Capacity.
Capacity. Sorry, I don't want to laugh, but
land at Capacity is over 40 US a square foot.
40 US?
So it's over that. It's over 40 US a square foot for land at Capacity at this time. So the condos that are going to be built at Capacity, it's for who?
Not for the gas station attendants.
I know the one at cul-de-sac was for the gas station attendants, but the one at Capacity, who is it for now? I know the one at Denry was for the poorest of the poor.
Well, those three
so
condos,
the one at Capacity is for who?
Caller, you have me jammed there. You'll have to ask Buddy.
I like that name, Buddy.
I got it from Norbert.
Okay, no problem. I'm just asking. I'm just wondering what is it for. But anyways, the DPP, didn't the DPP give an assignment to the police of commissioner? Didn't we hear something on that? What's going on with this?
What?
I'm not hearing anything about that. I think the last I heard was Shaz had a conversation in the meeting or whatever they had, and I heard about that, and I have not heard anything again. So, what's going on?
I don't know. I mean, you're asking some good questions, and I
just want to know. Because I'm hearing condos going up at Kazaba, Cape State. I'm not seeing anything, and I heard that in 18 months that we would have had condos down at cul-de-sac.
But remember,
so I'm wondering what's going on.
Right. Remember, it was Richard and Joachim and another guy who was on the site, and they were all boasting and everything else.
So what's going on with the hospital? 18 months is already up. What's going on with the hospital? We don't have a hospital yet.
Well, we have not heard anything really except that we got monies and work has re-begun. So we don't know.
So all of that monies that they have gone to borrow in Parliament, all of that monies they have gone to borrow, I have not seen one shovel dig, one bag of soil. I have not seen one place in St. Lucia on island that the SLP government has dug a hole, except for the highway or the cul-de-sac road. They're just digging and puddles of water just sitting down there, creating mosquito puddles. That's all we're seeing.
You see, again, because the
With all the money that has been borrowed.
you see, because the
You
government
know,
is not
what have they
giving,
done?
the government is not giving information as they should. Like I said, sometime yesterday, I believe it was, that people will speculate, people will assume, because
What's going on
and
with the
it is
youth
real.
economy? They said about the youth economy. What's going on with the youth economy?
Well, I think that is the monies are circulating among young people who want to open business. I think that I heard, it is what it is.
So if we have a youth economy, why we have a person like Dax, who is a businessman, as an attaché? Can't a young person sit in that position? We have a businessman, maybe a millionaire on island, sitting as an attaché, and there is a youth economy. Where is the youth?
Yeah, with the youth economy, we have a high unemployment among our youth.
Youth economy to do what? You giving the youth monies to do what? To create what business? Create what business? To make candles and sell candles in St. Lucia? How much St. Lucians buying candles? How much of them buying whatever that's making there?
Well,
where is the business overseas? Why don't they go overseas and look for the markets? Before you create the youth economy, or before you put monies into their hands to create business, what business are they creating? Just to get a business license or to get a business permit to do what? To sit at your home and do what? Tell me what is it? I don't see nothing in the youth economy. I don't see it. Where is it?
With all the travel,
all the cocoa and everything they're making, where are they going? I don't see anything happening really.
With all the traveling them fellas doing, I mean, the country should have been way further ahead.
It's only Barons, because Barons has been big on the market for years. Yeah. So I see Barons overseas when I travel. I see Barons different places. Yeah. What about all of the other local people that they're saying that they're helping? These people that coming to the constituency park with their sheds and their stuff, that package all these local stuff. I don't see them selling anywhere.
Yeah. Although I think the youth
where is the market for them overseas?
I believe youth economy.
Yeah, the youth economy is a good thing, but I'm saying, where is the market? If we don't have any jobs in St. Lucia, we do not have money to pay our bills. You think I will go and buy a packet of bois and leaf from somebody who packaged it? Then I go to my backyard, or even ask somebody coming from the country to bring me a thing of bois?
Yeah,
and I cannot pay my bill. Do you think I have that money to buy it?
Those products are for export.
So that's what I'm saying. These products are for export. So where is the export market?
Well, they have been traveling a lot.
Can the regular St. Lucian, who they gave these monies to, the regular youth economy or youth person, can that person leave St. Lucia and go to Canada, go to America, go to the US today, and go out there, pay their passage on that money, and go out there for a month and go and look for a market and come back? Is that available to them? To us, excuse me, sorry, not to them, but to us?
To us. Mm-hmm.
Is that available? Mm-hmm. The fishermen are suffering. Where is the export market? Where is the export market for the fisheries? Where is it? Viewport is shut down. Castries, nothing, not running. Dennery is shut down.
Viewport is shut down?
So, what?
The fish...
There is no ice. There was no ice machine. The last I heard, there was no ice machine in Viewport, and fishermen were buying their own ice. I'm not sure whether that has been regulated for now, but I think for the past month or two, there were issues.
Yeah, I know Dennery had a problem with ice machine, and I'm not sure if that was fixed as yet. I got to find out from the fishing folks there.
The regular St. Lucian person cannot even afford a family of 5, a single parent with 4 children, most times cannot even afford to buy $10 chicken a day for their children. You think they can buy fish? We cannot afford basic stuff in the country. The fishermen are suffering. Where is the export market for the fishermen? You think all the seafood we have in St. Lucia is the hotels alone? Why you think all night long fishermen come from sea, and all night long most of them do not even have transportation? They have to rent a vehicle. They have to pay gas to somebody, wake up somebody, whatever time they come from sea, and travel with them throughout the island to try to sell that product.
But
where is the market?
Right. Let me just say this while you're on the line. We have ambassadors that we are paying with attaché and a number of other support staff in embassies around the world, in New York, in Miami, in Washington. What are they doing? They are the ones that must go out there and look for markets for our people. Those are the embassies, at the consulate, and all these places here in the diaspora. But what are they doing? Drinking wine, going to events, and smiling for cameras. These people are not performing. They're not contributing as they should to the development of the nation. They're not representing St. Lucia in these countries. They are the ones that should go and look for the market.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. We have these ministers sitting down there, traveling everywhere, not looking for no markets, for nothing outside there. And they're giving them what? Youth economy, they're giving them some money. You know what I heard? I heard these same people, these same SLP hacks that are getting the monies. You know what are they doing? But the U.S. Embassy is waiting for them because the U.S. Embassy is dealing with them these days. Yes, they're dealing with them, taking the monies and putting on their accounts and waiting for 3-4 months to go to the U.S. Embassy. But the U.S. Embassy already aware of them and they're waiting for them with all of the fake reports. They're waiting for all of the hacks that are running, taking the government money and running to Barbados because they know things are hard in St. Lucia. That's why they're taking the money to run. That is why they're taking the money to run, because they know exactly what is coming for them. But anyways, Pastor Garfield, I'll give somebody another chance. I'll give somebody else a chance to call.
Yeah, appreciate this call. Thank you so much.
Okay, good night.
Appreciate you. Yes. That was a good call, friends. The lines are open. I want to hear from you, my people. You can call from St. Lucia. Use the WhatsApp feature. Call us 929-586-1821. I want SLP to call, non-SLP to call, UWP to call, independent. Young people, we need to hear from you. Use the number. Call you on the air, Caribbean American News Media. You're live.
Good evening, Brother Garfield. How are you?
Good evening. Not bad at all, my friend.
Okay, good evening to everybody on the live tonight. Brother Garfield, before you continue, I just need to remind even yourself and everyone listening and St. Lucians that when Philip J. Pierre would sit there and say Richard was on TV for 5 years or whatever, right? I need to remind St. Lucians that Richard Frederick was fired by the delegates of the UWP, of the United Workers' Party. He was fired. Thereafter, Richard had a show that spoke highly of Philip J. Pierre, Kenny Anthony, so he was in campaign mode for years when he was out of government. Okay, for over 5 years. Whilst Alan Chastney was governing, Richard Frederick had a show every Thursday night. Prior to Alan Chastney governing, Richard Frederick had started that show after he was fired by the delegates of the UWP. He spoke on behalf of that party.
Yeah.
He ran an election uncontested by Philip J. Pierre's party, by the SLP, uncontested in Central Castries. He won that election. And where is Richard Frederick sitting today? In the lap of Philip J. Pierre in the Prime Minister's office. That is where he is today. So when Philip J. Pierre will come on national television and continue his lies, because if it's not truth, it's a lie. There's no half-truth. I don't believe in anything such as half-truth. It's either the truth or it's a lie. When he will continue with his lies on national radio, St. Lucians, take note of what we have sitting as a prime minister. Richard Frederick is sitting in Philip JP's lap in the Prime Minister's office. Richard Frederick, after he won the election, came out and said he is there to protect Philip JP at any cost. Okay? Richard Frederick has been on his show still. He never gave it up as an MP and has continued, as we know, to insult even yourself. Even you.
Yeah.
Insult anyone who voices their opinion, their honest opinion on what's going on with the government in St. Lucia. Anyone. Any and everybody. It doesn't matter what the person has to say. If the person is an SLP, if the person is Flabo, you do not know where people vote, Richard Frederick. He will associate you with the UWP and he will come and he will finish you off on his show with his insults and his lies and the socket of the lady's eye came out. I came out of the socket. I mean, it's a bunch of people who are lying to St. Lucians continuously and thinking that St. Lucians are going to stay there with their with red eyes watching them because we are so SLP. We have clear eyes. We can see what's going on. We know. We have seen all the hypocrisy and the lies that were told in the last campaign. We've seen everything coming out clearly, and Philip JPS still sits there and makes these comments on Andre Paul's show. Philip JPS should stay at his home. He should resign for all the lies that he's said he's told to St. Lucians. This is the same Richard Frederick. $10 million, 3 huts in Dennery. $10 million, 3 huts in Dennery. This is the same Richard Frederick who has been accused by Philip J. Pierre's SLP party. And today he wants to say that Richard Frederick was the one speaking for Flabo. Richard Frederick spoke for SLP when Alan Chasney was the Prime Minister of St. Lucia and spoke against UWP. And people remember this clearly. Because I'm really sick. And you know what? It starts at the head. The fish rots from the head. I am sick of Philip JP. I am sick of Philip JP coming out to say to people, inflation is imported. I am sick of Philip JP telling people 2.5% levy. It does not work out to be 2.5. It is on goods and services. If I buy a cup, a mug, and the mug is imported, I've got to pay the 2.5 on that mug for customs brokerage, for transportation. Every time I have to pay 2.5, 2.5. Does it end up being 2.5? Then when I have to do the printing on that mug before I sell it, I've got to pay the 2.5 on the service for printing. So that already adds up to 7.5. That already adds up to 7.5%. Solutions, open your eyes. This is not a 2.5% levy. This works out to be a 7.5% levy. Philip JP will come and lie about this. And Richard Frederick would come on his show and lie even more to St. Lucians, and we're going to listen to those lies? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And you know what? Yes, we should demand an election next year. Yes, we should. Because St. Lucians are becoming poorer and poorer. Bills are getting higher and higher. Salaries are not growing. No one is getting employed. Richard Frederick was the one who came and closed down the housing developments and said, again, a lie, said that there was no approval, DC approval. And then all the documents came out stamped with DC approvals. Then they gave him $10 million to build 3 huts. And then he's going to build a Casabah for who? For the poor people. How many people that are poor, right? Who need housing in St. Lucia desperately owns a car? There are no buses going into Casabah. So what, they have to walk all the way home every day? Who do they think they're fooling?
Casabah is way up at Pigeon Point.
Casabah is next to Cap Estate. Across from Grosley entrance is the Casabah entrance. So you can drive in there and end up all the way at because there's a sort of the road. There's a damaged road, looks sort of like a feeder road, going all the way to Cotton Bay. That was actually the way to Cotton Bay, to Casabah Beach, where Cotton Bay is in Cap Estate. Right? That was the way to that Casabah route. Was that route was being used to go into to Cotton Bay. Casabah is not an area that there are people who live in Casabah without cars. You see them walking. So you're going to build high-rise buildings or whatever, condominiums, like you say, for the poor gas station, Brother Garfield, and they have to walk in and out of Casabah every time.
And they might be working in cash.
When we had housing developments all around the island where people could own a piece of land, which gives you power with the banks when you want to get a loan. As long as you own a property, you have that power in your hands. You have a child who wants to go to school, you can mortgage the property and get a loan to send your child to school. You want to extend the property, you can remortgage and extend your property. It gives you a lot in terms of financing. You're going to stop those based on a lie, right? And then now you're going to build condominiums for people in Casabah. I mean, wake up, St. Lucians. You know where Casabah is. Who's going to live there? Is he going to give everybody a car too? Or is he going to provide a shuttle bus to the condos and back? What's Richard going to do? And Pierre is so hypocrite, such a hypocrite and a liar, that Philip J. Pierre will say Richard Frederick is a UWP. The only party he's been a member of is the UWP. This, that. The last elections, you didn't send somebody to contest the elections because you had a pact with Richard Frederick to join your party, to come into the government, to do exactly what he's doing today, which is to continue to lie to people, to continue to deceive St. Lucians, to continue to protect Pierre, like he say. The man is sitting in Pierre's office and Pierre goes on Andre. That really aggravated me, you know. These fellas need to get out of our parliament and get out now. Get out now before it gets too bad in St. Lucia, because it's already bad.
Their supporters believe that they're doing a good job.
Which supporters do they have left? The few hacks, the handful of hacks who some of them live in New York and Canada and whatever, and they haven't been to St. Lucia in years to see what's going on here. All of these people have medicals at their fingertips. They have food banks. They have unemployment benefits. They have all of this. We have none of that in St. Lucia. Furthermore, they make $70 million. And people, that is clear money in excess. And that money was paid by taxpayers like ourselves. People who shop. He collected it in taxes. $70 million.
That was in 2022,
rather than
right?
say, you know what? Yes. Rather than say, I'm not going to implement that 2.5 because we already have a system in place where we're collecting $70 million in excess. Because that will continue throughout the years, eh? That's $70 million. Okay, that's not by luck and chance that they collected that. They've set up their system so they can collect that money every year. You will come and put a 2.5% levy that works on goods and services. Any service associated with those goods, there is a 2.5% on that. Apart from customs, brokerage, transportation, printing of T-shirts, whatever, there is a 2.5% at every juncture. So he knows. He's not. Listen, he's not stupid. He's deceitful. He very well knows that it does not work out to be just 2.5%. He knows that. But he will come and say to Solutions, it's a 2.5% for medical and security. Security? Look, I just read something today saying 2 people were abducted
Wow.
in January.
In January?
And they found them somewhere in January or somewhere. They found them tied together. So I take it that they're dead. The car was abandoned, the vehicle that they were driving, and they went missing. And they're dead. We have a crime rate that is escalating, that has escalated under the Philip JPS administration. He is the security minister. You collecting 2.5 for security. What have you done, Philip JPS, in your capacity as security minister to curb the crime in St. Lucia? I am going to answer that. Absolutely nothing. We have the lazy, lying pip as a prime minister. And it's time for this man to go. Because I'm getting more and more upset every day that I look at what's happening and what he's saying and what's coming from their camp.
Okay. Yes, we have another call coming in. But,
anyway, let somebody else go.
Yeah,
all
really
right.
appreciate you, my caller. Thank you so
Thanks.
much. Yeah. Caribbean American News Media, you're on the air, caller.
Hi, good night, Pastor Garfield. It's me again.
It's
I'm
you
calling
again.
back. Yeah.
Talk to me.
Bye.
Pastor Garfield, this guy, Richard Frederick, is a liar. I want to know where in Cape State that condo will be built. I would love to know where. Because even Ms. Flood, Sarah Flood just said, I was having that same conversation with my husband, and I was saying to him, this is a joke. This is a big joke. In order for you to build a condo at Cape State, you need to add a new bus route. You understand? So that means the Ministry of Transportation has to give another set of route bands so these persons could extend to Cape State, or they can be a route up to Kazaba.
Well, maybe they don't have
when
to do
you
that.
pass,
maybe those people have their own transportation and chauffeur.
So who are they building the condos for? Not St. Lucians like me and you and every little person that cannot really afford. Isn't the land going to be free? So if we get free land and they building condos for us, that means we're going to get it cheaper.
Well, let me ask you, caller.
Why not live up there?
Have you ever seen a condo?
Pastor Garfield, I am just saying, I'm going back again to the bus route. Yeah. There is no bus system going up there, like Ms. Flood said. There is no bus system going up there. So in order for you to build a condo, that means you already have a plan with Ministry of Infrastructure or whatever, or not Ministry of Infrastructure, sorry, Ministry of Transportation, to put a new bus route. And I want to know where that condo will be built, because I traveled from Belkai, which is above, what's that name of that place there? Where they have that landmark. I forgot the name of it. But anyways, I traveled from there all the way into Cap Estate with my husband. We drove from Belkai. We were living up at Belkai, at the hotel up at Belkai. We drove from there and went all into Cotton Bay, all into these condos, these places there. Most of these lots and these properties are already owned. Most of them. All the way up to the dead end of the island. Most of these properties are already owned. So I would love Richard Frederick to come out and tell St. Lucians exactly where is the location that's going to be where. Because we've been looking for property up there, and I know for sure. You got to go all the way into the dead end. Most of the properties there are owned. So where are we getting that condo? Is it between St. Lucia and Martinique in the water? Like, you know, we need to know. These people are liars. You coming and tell people about you're going to be building condo at Cap Estate. Where in Cap Estate? We need to know where. What bus route you guys have for us? Just pissing in our eyes and calling it rain. Pissing in people's eyes and calling it rain. And solutions will just sit down and say, hey, yeah, they're building for us there. Up to now, we don't see nothing. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. You just coming and lie to people and nothing for it. Nobody's denouncing it. Nobody's challenging them. They have no answers to anybody. You know, you cannot ask them a question. You cannot say anything. Like, come on, what is really going on? Do we have to take the streets for a couple of days? What is really going on? What does Philip JP want us to do? Things are already so expensive.
Well,
you coming to St. Lucia to invest. You as an investor coming to St. Lucia to invest. Where is the security system? Where is the healthcare? When that person falls sick on island, they come to invest so much money on your island. Where is the health system? When they fall sick, where do they go? They go to the hospital so you can tell them there is no bed sheets? Or you can, or what? They're gonna go to the washroom and see that the water is running through the toilet and non-stop.
Wow,
this is crazy.
Wow.
Anyways, Pastor Garfield, good night.
Thank you so much for calling back. The lines are open at 929-586-1821, and the caller makes a lot of sense. One thing I heard the Minister of Housing, he said on public Caribbean American News Network, caller, you on the air.
Yes, Brother Garfield. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Yes, sir. I just want to say to Brother Garfield, we have found ourselves in a strategic blend in our country. And what I mean by that, if we look at the pillars governing a country for success, in terms of education, our foreign policy, our domestic policies, our economic policies, they're all in ruins right now. And the situation is so dire that it will take more than 5 years for any other government that's coming in to reverse the situation. And I will start with our foreign policy. Just a few months ago, our Prime Minister visited the Venezuelan president in Venezuela.
Yes.
And they signed strategic deals, for example, for asphalt for our roads and infrastructure, right?
Yes.
Today now we are finding ourselves in a deadlock because just a few months ago our Prime Minister, which represents the entire St. Lucia, was down at Venezuela, and now a member of CARICOM, a member of the OECS, we have a big population of Guyanese, a minority of Guyanese in our population, which benefit, they pay taxes, they do everything like a normal citizen. The thing is, and I heard the opposition party been calling for the government of the day right now to make a clear standing as to where we stand, because I believe we're the only Caribbean island in this past year that actually recognized and visited Maduro I believe because of our economic situation, we went to look for cheap asphalt from Maduro, I guess, oil and gas. And to turn around now and to see now Maduro now spitting in Philip Chippe's face by threatening to attack one of our allies, Guyana, which has been our food basket for so many years in terms of rice and flour, sugar, bauxite, all different things we need. You see? So now, when I say now, that was the foreign policy. We have the situation where we lost our bananas, our biggest market for bananas, which is England. We have lost that market. The French are now putting visa restrictions, I guess, or telling its citizens, be aware of going to St. Lucia. The American market, we have lost a lot of air flights from America. The tourism industry has been taking on a nosedive. And now we have seen that the government is posturing itself to go to look for new friends. And it doesn't really benefit us because here we have Richard Frederick going to Rwanda on a luxurious trip to Rwanda, but what has he brought back to our country, to our shores, and any of the other ministers, understand? So I see like our foreign policies in a disarray. You understand? We are opening new embassies and new consulates. We have one in Texas now. We just renovated Leo Clark's wife's office in America. But what are we getting? Washington there, DC. But what are we getting from that? So if we go now on our economic side now, we haven't seen any major investment coming in the country, foreign direct investment in the country. And I mean, he's talking about the only investment we are hearing about now is GPH investment, which is a great disaster. And I believe the reason why they're pushing for this is because there's guarantees that many people in the hierarchy of the St. Lucia Labour Party would be a part of the DSH project, and knowing that it is a guarantee, a short deal that will last for over 40 years. So they will have jobs there, you understand? Because the 5 years is not guaranteed for the hierarchy to sustain their way of living.
Yeah.
And the next thing I want to talk about is it's based on the economy again. I remember this man, Evans Jomari. He's a gas tycoon in our country, and this man owns maybe a couple, if it's not 1/4 of all the gas stations in St. Lucia. I remember when Alan Shastney was in power, he said how high gas was, and gas was capped at $13 per gallon. Now it's at $17 plus per gallon. I'm not only speaking about that. Our education sector, we are not even generating. You see, long time Kenny Anthony came and said that the situation with our educational system is that they're not producing or not training the workforce for the jobs that are available now. And that was a couple of years ago. You understand? And what Alan Shastney started to do was he started to shift the balance of the traditional schooling into vocational schooling, and that is why we have the Grosley Sports Academy in Grosley, which is producing marvelous. We have the fastest runner in St. Lucia. She was a part of all that stuff. But the situation is now, at this point in time, is that our education system doesn't match the new jobs that are coming on stream, which is more not just technical, but more in terms of the AI revolution, all those different things. And now, in going to 2024 to 2025, those years are critical years for our country to get online, because you can see in Barbados that Guinea Motley is following the Alan Shastney way of development in terms of upgrading our ports, upgrading the airport, upgrading the infrastructure, while we now staying back. So I'm telling you that the situation, we can talk about, all your past callers was very right. Now I'm watching it on a holistic point of view. Mm-hmm. it is a very, very, very bad situation that we have found ourselves in. And those guys, if you listen to most of the talk shows that they're coming on stream, whether it's NBC, whether it's whatever talk show they're using, they're not talking about policies. They're not talking about ways to push the country forward. All you're hearing they're talking about is the opposition did this, the opposition did that.
Yeah.
You understand? And I heard some callers say that after all this situation where the people are being taxed over their heels, we have borrowed over 1.3 or 4 billion dollars, and we are still borrowing in different places that will not come really on stream on the media to say that we borrow this, we borrow that. We have the CIP program. We are getting maybe millions of dollars from that. And I'm even hearing those guys used to say the friends, family, and foreigners. The prime minister daughter is employed at CIP. Leo Clark's wife is the ambassador in America. What's the guy named in Grocery?
Kenson?
BB or what? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kenton Tassim, his wife, his girlfriend, is a part of the St. Lucia Labour Party machinery. She's the spokeswoman. So it's just a thing like the past caller said, it's spitting in your eye and calling it rain. And the only rain that will be falling is on us. And this rain is hardship, death, disease, and anarchy of our country. You see, the fabric that used to hold our country together, it has been ripped away by division of white, black. We never had those types of talk before. You know, even if it was, we used to maybe talk about it. We were never a racist country. So it's just another form of degrading our society, and we don't even have a middle class anymore. So the situation is, what are we going to do as a people? Are we ready to stand up and shut down the country for weeks? Because I always say I'd rather sacrifice weeks of shutting down the country of economic growth than to have over decades and decades of hardship like what is happening in Haiti. Because remember I tell you, in 2 years we have borrowed over $1.2 billion. And that 3 years has come in there, the election years are coming there. So a lot of projects is going to come on stream, which is government funded, I know, because we're already seeing that there is no foreign direct investment. So what government will have to do is borrow more money, use the tax, the revenues to try to stimulate the economy, which that will not work because Kenya has done it in the past. That is why he reached in the 2011, 2016 election when he said he couldn't borrow anymore. Understand? So this is a situation. We are in a strategic blunder, and there is no turning back from for the consequences of what we did in 2021. I thank you, brother.
Thank you so much for that call. Thank you so much. And the call is absolutely right, friends. And, sometimes when we say to our people that the country is not where it's supposed to be, it is real.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, caller. You still there, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes. I thought we had it was disconnected, but we're still here. Just bear with us, folks, as we try to get our lines together. Okay, yes, the lines are all open. It is not jammed. So, folks, we need to hear from you, 929 586 1821. Now, Mr. Frederick said that the condo comes with land. And, it's the government, out of the goodness of the government's heart, that when you pay for the condo, that you're getting land. Folks, honestly, I would love somebody to guide my ignorance. I have never seen a condo where it is a whole set of independent properties like apartments where it is on block 2, block 3, block 4. So if he's building, let's say, 150 space for 150 families, and he's saying to you that once you pay for that property, then you get the land comes with it. I don't think that's a right statement based on the design that we saw that they presented to the general public. 2 large buildings going up in the air. And my question is, sir, how is it that the condo come with land? What are they going to plant? Where are they going to plant? What are they going to plant on those lands? Are those lands in the sky? Is it? I don't understand. I'm confused on your pronouncement that your government is so loving and so nice to the citizens that when they buy their condo, that it comes with land. They don't have to pay for land. I'm a little confused, honestly, about that. I have even gone to Florida where there is gated communities, and in one building in a gated community, you might have at least 40 families living there, 40 living space. We're going to sit the folks in Florida saying that when you buy your home, it comes with the land based on the layout of those buildings that we see in Florida. You can't tell people that in a deal that it comes with the land. That's misleading the people. I am saying, Mr. Minister, maybe you made a mistake, although you don't like to admit when you make mistakes because you guys know it all. You're always right about everything. You're never wrong about a matter. You never misspoke. The only people that misspeak is the United Workers Party, the Shastny and Guy. They're the only ones who don't get it right. Caribbean American News Media, caller, you're on the air. Hey, not bad, my friend. Georges. Great. Season's greetings to you.
Same to you. Like if we are having one, yeah.
I know. I know.
Your show and pertaining to the condos and the land. That is laughable, but it could be knowing the person we are speaking of. Maybe the condos can come through.
Yeah.
What did they say? It comes with land?
Yeah, it come with land. The condo come with land.
Remember the saga with Condos and Marjorie and the lands and everything that went down, and when the signing came with Labour, they said that Marjorie got that extra piece of land and whatnot with the money.
Yeah. Wow.
Then you can put your things back on.
Mm-hmm.
Put your things back on. Alrighty, that's all I am telling you. Put your thinking cap on. The possibility that the condos will go up because the Russian oligarchs, the Saudis, oilers, the African leaders, the corruption, they may want a place to stay.
Yeah, we have a bad connection, but go ahead.
They may want a place to stay. So open your eyes.
Okay, good.
And see what is happening around you.
Mm-hmm.
You hearing me clear?
Oh, very good now. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Very
so
clear.
I was saying for listeners that the balance of the land at Casabah, when they did the signing with Marjorie, and I think they said that she was given an extra piece of land or some balance of land.
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yep.
The Lucians need to put their thinking cap on. and see where Casabah they're going to build the condos. St. Lucians, because the oligarchs, the Saudis, the African rich boys, they may want a place to stay when they come down to do the business. Open your eyes, St. Lucian. Open your eyes. The signs are there, everything is there. The puzzle is there, you just have to put it together. So don't be surprised if you'll see it going up at Casabah in the area there. Have a good night, Pastor Garfield. I'm not staying too long.
Good night, my friend. Good night, yes. So, folks, you see, one of my concern is that, and St. Lucians have been doing this to themselves ever so often. They've always been cutting their nose and spoiling their face, thinking that they are spoiling somebody else's face. Now, when I look at the plan, a progressive plan for housing under the United Workers' Party, there were agreements in place, lands were identified, everything seems to have been on stream. And then the Minister of Housing, Buddy, comes and he said, oh, yeah, there is no approved plan and blah, 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 blah. Then we found out, oh, no, sir, not so fast. That's not the truth. And then you're like, wait a minute. How do I believe you going forward? If you bring paper and you said you always have documents showing off, and you got this totally wrong, you said in front of the House of Assembly in Castries, the William Peter Boulevard, I can never forget it. You said that the lands, the project, the housing project, what project it was it the tavern or whatever it was, that there were no approval. Only for HTS to come out and debunk that lie. That's what it was, a lie. And so a good project was stopped. A good housing project was stopped. Why? Because them fellas prefer to cut off their nose and spoil their face, thinking that they are spoiling the face of the United Workers' Party. Who suffers? St. Lucia. Look at what is going to happen. Condo. And they're promising you with condo that you will get free land. Brethren, I don't know what this free land is all about that comes with the condo. I understand the whole concept of a condo. I cannot go to the CDC in Castries and tell the residents that I'm going to sell them their apartment and it comes with land. That would be a foolish statement to make to them, ain't it? Where's the land? What land they're going to get? Those upstairs will get land too. Those above them would get land. Those on the third floor will get land. On the fifth floor will get land. Why are we misleading the people of St. Lucia? Calling you on the air, Caribbean American News Media.
Pastor Garfield, good night.
You love this number.
I am into this topic. Yes, tonight.
Good. I love that.
Because I really got pissed off when I heard this man mention and talk about these condos in the way that he did.
Yeah. And
I know for a fact that he's misleading St. Lucians and he's lying and he knows he's lying.
He's clearly misleading St. Lucia.
Yes, he's misleading. He's trying to mislead some of us, but not all of us because he's not misleading me. Pastor Garfield, at Casabah, there are the 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom villas, condos. There is the 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom condos, and there are 3 bedroom townhouses and 4 bedroom villas. The 4 bedroom villas cost, and you can go on the internet on the Seven Haven or any property in St. Lucia. You could go on the properties in St. Lucia and you will see it. You could Google it. The 4 bedroom villas are $450,000 US.
450.
Okay? For a fact. That's the smallest for the 4 bedroom villa at Casabah. at Cotton Bay. Pastor Garfield, on top of paying your villa for $450,000 US, you now have a fee of $1,200 US for insurance for exterior of the building. You also have maintenance fees, which is $1,187 US every month. I'm saying again, every month you have $1,180 something to pay every month maintenance fees.
Yeah.
That is for cleaning, cutting the grass, maintenance of the pool, and cleaning of the building, maintenance of the building.
Yeah.
The 3-bedroom townhouses, they cost $230,000 US up there.
Wow.
The maintenance fees for there is $1,100 US a month.
Wow.
Remember, on top of purchasing your property, you already bought your property. Let us just work with the 3-bedroom townhouse. You already purchased that property for $230,000 US. That is carrying you to about that is carrying you under $700,000 EC. You are paying maintenance fee every month for a year. There's 12 months in the year. You are paying, let us just round it up to $1,001 US. You are paying every month. $1,001 US in EC is what? Almost 3,000 EC. So you have already purchased your house up there, and you are paying maintenance fee $3,000 EC every month. Multiply that by 12. Which St. Lucian that can pay maintenance fee? Which person, which gas attendant, which little hustler that sells vegetables by the streets, which fisherman, which bus driver with a loan that can tell me he can get a credit of 700,000 EC to go up to Cap Estate and purchase a house and pay maintenance fees of $1,100 US a month. And remember, your insurance is not included yet. Your insurance is $1,100 US a year. With St. Lucian. So when Richard is talking about condos, what is he talking about?
Well,
the 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom condos up there, they are going for $195,000 US. They're going for $170,000 US. And most of them are on the ground floor. The maintenance fee for these 1-bedroom and 2 bedrooms are about $500 to $700 US a month. Which St. Lucian that can afford to live there? I am a St. Lucian looking to invest there, not even to live. I cannot afford to live there. I cannot afford to pay $2,500 every month and say I am retiring there.
Well, they call it affordable housing, so most likely if the government are going to build those things, then...
So Richard needs to come out and explain to us about those condos, because I guess persons like me and there are other persons who may be interested.
Well, it is for the poorest of the poor.
Pastor Garfield. Okay, thank you. No, I really want to know. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because while I'm sitting down here bursting my head, trying to see if I could take my money and invest it in my country, invest it to do something positive.
Yeah.
You sitting down there and I'm watching the news, and you as the minister, instead of telling me something, that would be more productive or something I could rely on, and said, wow, okay, it's time to come home for true, and invest that money.
Yeah.
I am sitting down there watching you lying in my face.
Yep.
Come on. And we know better?
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Good night, Pastor Garfield. I'm still watching and listening.
All right.
Okay, bye.
That's my caller there. Very excited. Called 3 times for the night, and the point. Sorry about that. The point is, So about that, folks. The point is, right, my people, is that the idea is to, based on an assessment that was done on the housing need in St. Lucia, I believe it's about 15,000 homes or 14,000 homes that are needed to help with that deficit in housing. And what for me, now everybody have their own ideas, but for me, what would have been the best solution to this problem is to give families papers to the lands that they're on. If they're on government lands, you give them ownership of those lands and you aid them at the same time in erecting their homes. You provide them with cheaper materials. You organize financing where, they can pay a little $200-$300 a month in order to, to build. You give them all the materials, let them put up their homes. You give them the land and let them build where they can plant their own little kitchen garden around their property. That's what is needed now, especially with the food insecurity in the country. So the whole idea of just building condos, I am not sure how that is going to help or impact vulnerable families, the poorer families in the country who are in need of proper housing too. I would prefer to have more housing projects, single homes built. We have lands. There's enough lands in St. Lucia where you can build affordable homes like St. Vincent, Ralph Gonsalves. Build those homes and give them to the citizens. Beautiful homes, structures, well built. Give them to these families. We saw the excitement on one woman who sat there day after day watching those homes built. And then the question was asked to her, which one of those are yours? She said, I don't know yet, but one of them was promised to her. Excited. She's owning her own house with lands around the thing so she can plant her little kitchen garden. If we really want to help with housing in the country, we got to start investing wisely, properly. Yes, there are persons, there are different groups of individuals in the country who are in need of homes. There are those who can afford, their teachers, their police officers. They can afford to pay, for maybe a decent little something, like a condo. There's also a group that can't really afford. And all we do is give them little pieces of plywood homes. Within a year, based on the climate, they got to build. A hurricane come, the roof is gone, they got to go in a shelter and hide. Why can't we build resilient homes? We are speaking about the changing climate. We are speaking about a country that cannot recognize seasons anymore. Why can't we build homes, concrete structures that can last for a very long time? These families would be happy. So I'm saying there are like three different classes of people who we should be impacting right now, not building one piece of condo and then say we will build another condo in Dennery, another condo. Dennery don't need any condo. Dennery needs single homes where these people who are accustomed of planting, that they can plant around their home. And there is enough land around the place to get it done. Who wants to see condo in Dennery? Who wants to see big buildings blocking the air? Blocking neighbors' view? Who wants that? We have the means. We can build single homes. And not only build them, we can build some of them free of charge for some of these citizens if we love them and we want to put them first. This condo ain't putting nobody first, but those who have, those who can afford. Caller, you're on the air. You're our last call for the night. It is 10:12 in St. Lucia. Caller, go ahead, my friend. Caller, you're on the air. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead. Okay. The caller didn't realize that they were online. But folks, I know it's late. I don't want to keep you up. I want you to be sharp. I want you to go to bed early so that at least, I know many of you are challenged this season and you don't know where you're going to get anything, but God is good. I always say to you, God is good. You hang in there. All right, you hang in there, my people. So the whole housing thing, we got to look at it. And I do not want the government to play games with the people of St. Lucia when it comes to housing. Don't build things so that you can say Shasta didn't do it and we do it. That should not be your motivation. What should motivate you is that there is a need, there is a cause. And we will do our best because there is a cause to take care of the needs of St. Lucians. This should never be because you want to show that you can do this better and this better. You will always fail. You'll always make a mess like the hospital and the airport. Anytime you try to prove something, you make a mess. But if it is done genuinely because there's a need, there's a cause, then blessed are you. Caller, you on the air. Caribbean American News Media. You are the last call.
How are you doing, Brother Gaffel?
Not bad at all, sir.
Brother Gaffel, I'm listening to your show there. Listening to the show, man, and I'm at work and I just had to call.
Talk to me.
It is so ridiculous when you have people that tend to put a facade as to be very knowledgeable about things, when in truth, they don't know what they're doing. Now, the minister in question, Richard Frederick, he's notorious for being a bad housing minister. It's not today. It's been happening all the time. Didn't you just see that the man break down the CDC building and he put a car park there?
Yeah.
Didn't we all notice that? Yeah. The very same man that had the audacity to stand on national TV and radio and claim that the new building that was being built by the former administration in Viewfort, which is the new hospital, he called it a glorified car park. You remember those words?
Yeah.
You see, the man don't know what he's doing. He goes at it as the day goes by, and I will tell you why. Look at that building they built for the housing office, which is in Castries there.
What's called it? The NHC?
NHC building. Have you ever taken a good look at that building?
Not really.
My brother, anybody that look at that building, and I want anyone that is an architect of today, this is not modern design. You can tell these fellas are so lame, These fellas have no idea what they're doing, Brother Gaffel. There is for those that don't know, there is a prison built some years ago in England, and you can swear this building is housing condominiums or like high-end officials, because it's all glass building and it's a prison. You can look at it for yourself. You'll see it. You see, when you have people that do not have the foresight, they lack vision.
Yeah.
Brother Garfield, they tend to do things without plan, and when they do things without plan, they themselves glorify it.
Yep.
They without even letting people talk about it, they glorify it. You saw the big show the man opened the building when in rush hour morning, when people, so
A big store.
you can say that there was traffic. So many people was trying to get there, so there was traffic, in the area because people wanted to see the new building.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. Now I heard some people talking about the numbers of that building in terms of how to purchase, price to purchase them, but you guys fail to mention that with the way the taxes are being imposed in the country, and how much, quote unquote, according to the Prime Minister, imported inflation that is coming into the country. If people were to own the quote unquote lands the minister is talking about, don't you think that those taxes would be increasing also? Don't you think that those fees, the interest rate of their loan will be increasing also? Because it's a service that is being provided. And if you have a tax on services, obviously. Now, let's talk about maintenance for a while. Because we all know that's what's going to happen. If you have a condominium, you will need a company to maintain it. So they're providing a service. Don't you think that all of these things will impact the fees that you pay every year, the HOA fees that you pay every year?
Yeah. Yep.
You see, when we talk about housing and we talk about poor people, and which I don't like to call people poor, I rather use the word less fortunate. Because I think that's the mentality that people have, that they think that because they're poor, that they have to remain poor. You're not poor. Because anybody with life, anybody with health, they're wealthy. You're less fortunate. You cannot afford what everybody else may afford. So if you look at what is happening in this country when it comes to building homes for the less fortunate, it's a sham, Brother Gaffel. This is a sham. And I'll tell you why it's a sham. I hope they take the example I'm putting forward to you today to make good for the people of St. Lucia. Right. And any right-thinking St. Lucians, when I say what I have to say today, they will stop for a minute and think of it and see how much of a sham these governments have been shamming the country and the people. But Agafil, if you want to build for the less fortunate, does the less fortunate, when you build for one, does it end there?
No.
It doesn't end there.
No.
Exactly. So why is it no government has had the foresight to build infrastructures, whereas these people don't own the infrastructure. They live in it. Yes, they don't own it. So if today somebody were to be homeless, and let's say someone that was living in that particular structure passed away, government can take that homeless person and put them in that house because it's a good house. It's a home where government themselves maintain. So you do not have that problem. Every time somebody have a plywood house, it breaks down. Some minister is coming up and making a big brouhaha like they're doing something for the people with plywood again. And every year those same nonsense continue.
Yep.
If we have to go back and audit every government that have built plywood homes for people, you know how much of millions of dollars that have been spent uselessly, and we don't have nothing to show for it today?
Nothing to show, yeah.
Because most of these homes have gone again, Brother Garfield, whether by hurricane, whether they rot, you name it.
Yeah.
We need to have more strategic building in this country. You see, look at what is happening with the Hiranura International Airport. They're still downsizing it. They're still doing the same nonsense over and over again. Look at what is happening in with the hospital. The very same nonsense. When are we St. Lucians going to realize that we need to start building for the future? All those people that have sentimental attachment to the old hospital, there is nothing wrong with that because we used it for so many years. However, we need to understand that we cannot stay in the same position for all our lives. The same way when you were 5 years, now you're 60 years, you don't see that you didn't stay a child all along, that you grow up.
Yeah.
So things have to change as you grow up. You cannot remain the same. Same with the country. The country and its infrastructure, it needs to grow while its people grow. Now, if you as a government, Brother Garfield, you tend to keep your people behind by not using what is available, all the tools at your disposal as a government. You know what you're doing? You're depriving all those that is coming before you. After you, because the generation that's coming after, they're the ones who's getting deprived. Because guess what's going to happen? They find themselves in a limbo, and most of the time, maybe those opportunities that we have today to better our infrastructure, better our lives, they may not have those opportunities down the line. You understand? Because when people trust you, Brother Garfield, and they give you money to invest in your people, whether you have to pay it back or it's a grant, you have to make good by those people. You understand? I was having a chat with a gentleman just about a few hours ago, and he told me that he is going to St. Lucia. Now, when he said that, I thought he was going to St. Lucia. I hope you understand.
I got you, yes.
So, and then he says to me, I said to him, so you go into the driving volcano and whatnot? He's like, no, I'm going to St. Lucia just to play golf. And I'm like, you go into St. Lucia just so what golf course? And now I know what he's talking about, but I'm just trying to see where he's going.
Yeah.
And he said to me, oh, you don't see that one of the best golf course design and builders, you don't know about what is happening? So I tell him, what is happening? Playing around. He tell me Cabot. He said, Cabot opened this golf course in St. Lucia, and I have to go and play on it. And I said, Cabot. He said, yeah, Cabot, the Canadian company. And he says to me, I am only going to play golf. And then the man look at me and he says to me, by the way, how is your economy doing? Now I know what he's saying.
Yep.
You know what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
He just look at me and say, by the way, how is your economy doing? You get that, eh? I hope all your listeners get that, eh?
Talk to me.
So the gentleman that told me that they're major investors. They're huge investors. And he's told me, he said he's paid his ticket already. And in February, that's what he's going to do. He's spending 2 weeks on the island just to play golf at Cabot Resort.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
So that was a very,
and I want
very
solutions
good
to
investment
think of that.
Under this Alan Shasta administration.
Of course.
But
the
them
man
fellas
told
demonize that thing.
My brother.
Remember, Jack didn't want them to bathe on the beach, right?
Of course. And we have to be careful, my brother.
Oh, my God.
We have to be careful because sometimes we will be sleeping with the devil and not realizing that.
I know, this is so funny. Cabot came under heavy criticism from the SLP. Now all of them are working there. They're drinking there. They enjoy it.
Okay. They have certain things that the man tell me I cannot say it on air. But I am telling you.
Yes.
I am telling you. There is. I hope the people understand what I just said. My brother, there is a lot that is coming to our island if we don't prepare ourselves.
Yes.
You see, if we don't turn this thing around, turn this ship around, we will be in deep trouble. And people may say that, why are you all asking for the country to be in trouble? Who's asking for it? No one is asking for it.
The forecast is there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when a storm is coming, we asking for the storm. So just because we're reporting about the storm, we asking for it? No, we're not.
No. Yeah.
It's what you, as a meteorologist, if you see a storm is coming, that's your job to alert the nation that there is a storm coming.
Yep.
So for people that can see that storm, which is coming, and the Prime Minister himself said that Richard Frederick is what was the word he used, Lord Almighty? He used a word. He said Richard Frederick is oh crap. I forgot the word he used, but in essence, he was saying that Richard Frederick is no angel.
Yep.
So he was saying basically, yeah? You know. So I'm saying to you, the storm is coming.
Yeah.
If we don't turn that ship around, we will be in a lot of trouble. Brother Gaffel, have a good night.
Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was a good call. Our final call, folks. I want you to have a beautiful night. Let's have our clip for the night. Before you go, here is your dose of PJP.
Elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. Philip J. Pierre and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre attacked elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip J. Pierre
Folks, have a
attacked
good night. And
elderly people.
sleep well. Remember to pray before you go to bed. May God bless you.
A big
as you
story.
continue to,
A big story.
watch
I must
the space.
apologize to elderly people. It's a big
Also,
story.
guard
Philip
our
J.
souls.
Pierre
All right?
attacked
Blessings, folks.
elderly people.
Remember, let's do our
and
best
tell,
to affect change.
a
in our
big
nation.
story.
Love
A big story.
your
I must
neighbor
apologize to
as
elderly
yourself.
people. It's a big
Do
story.
good to them.
Philip J. Pierre
Despitefully
attacked
use you.
elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. It's a big story. Philip